Hi guys, how are you? Have you subscribed to my channel? It's here. If you haven't, please do, and click notifications and thumbs up if you like things. Today is probably going to be the most honest, heartfelt video I have ever done. It's one I've thought about for a long time, but I've never had the courage to do it, I have to be honest. But this weekend has really made me think about things. You're very dark, so I'm going to go and put lights on actually. I'm actually doing this in my lounge. I don't normally video my lounge, but today I just think it's right. So just bear with me, I'm going to put lights on and I'll come back to you. Right, that's better. Okay, I'm probably going to cry through this video. I'm going to try not to, but yeah. Back in 2012, if you've seen my blog, I got breast cancer. 43, 42, 40, yeah, 43. It blew me away. I never thought I'd get it, but I did, and it was a period of my life where it was hard. It really was hard. But I had the treatment, I had the operations, I've had the reconstruction 5 years later, and I'm now 7 years through and I'm fine. And if you want to know about my breast cancer journey, then go onto my website, it's all there. It wasn't a great time in my life, I have to say. It blew me away, but it happened. This weekend we've been to stay with some friends, and the lady of the house unfortunately got breast cancer as well last year. More advanced than mine. And bless her, for me it was in between having chemo and radiation, so they opted for radiation but highest fractions. She's had chemo and radiation for preventative reasons, and today was her last radiation. And we went down last night because there's some friends who were going to stay with in Beijing who were there as well, and I thought we were going to leave at breakfast and come home, and then the boys decided we're going for lunch together, which is great, it's fine. But she had her last radiation treatment today, and she said, oh, do you want to come? And hubby said, yeah, you go with the girls and stuff. And this is going to sound really bad, and the person in question, I don't mean this way, and I think you know how I'm going to feel now. I really wanted to be there and support her. It was her last one, so I know exactly how she feels, but I didn't walk back in a place where I'd been. Not that hospital, I have to say, it was a different hospital, but for me, when I had my cancer, I didn't tell anybody. It was an easy to know basis. It really was. I kept it very private. If you need to know, that was it. Years on, yes, I'm happy to talk about it, and I will, because I want more people to go for their mammograms. I want more people to be safe from cancer. But when I went through it, I literally didn't want anyone to know. I could only deal with it because I could be normal if people didn't know and things like that. So for me today, walking back into that hospital was really hard, and it brought back everything to me. And I didn't want to show it, one, because that's not me, and two, this was her good day, this was her celebration. I wasn't going to let how I felt bring her down, because you know what, I've been there. That day when you have your last appointment, the dogs, they're having a bit of party around me. They raise me, I have to say, they keep me happy. Fido, stop. That last day when you go for your appointment, it's surreal. You've been on a treadmill for so long, and cancer completely takes over your life for a period of time, and then suddenly you go for your last appointment, and I'm going to say your last appointment, you still have other appointments, but it's not every day, it doesn't overtake your life. And I really want to celebrate it with her, and I did. I went along and I was so happy, but God, I had to fight back the tears. I just wanted to cry, and something inside me was saying, why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? I know I was there, and I know because I wanted to celebrate it with her, but do you know what? It's sometimes, I don't know, you do things and you forget how much you're hurting. And I think the reason I'm doing this video today is because I'm rubbish at telling how I feel. Absolutely rubbish. And I think my cancer experience, I've always tried to be really positive about it because I'm here, I've survived, I've had the operations and I'm on the other end of it. When I went through it, I was shit scared. Absolutely shit scared. And I suppose my way of doing it was not telling anybody about it unless they needed to know. And I suppose I was strong on the outside, but inside I wasn't. And maybe that's not good because 7 years on, I feel like I do today. And I think today's video is all around awareness of cancer, I think. I found out about my cancer through a routine mammogram. My friend found a lump and she'd had routine mammograms and it didn't pick it up, and a few months later she found a lump, and that was how quick it was. And you know, guys, we have options in our lives. We can go for mammograms and we can have cervical smears. Boys, you can have all sorts of things. You get oh god, my brain's gone blank now, but you what's the cancer you boys get? That's really bad. My brain has gone to pickle. Yeah, boys, what's the cancer you get? I've got Lola here chomping at me. Anyway, regardless of that, I'll come to it because it will come to me. My brain's a bit pickled at the moment because I'm just, yeah. It's uncomfortable. Okay, your mammogram's uncomfortable. Your smear's uncomfortable. You know, but you know what? For a few minutes of your life of being uncomfortable, it can save it. I don't have kids, so do you know what? If I die tomorrow, I haven't got a family to leave behind. But I've got nieces, I've got brothers, I've got parents. They didn't want me to go before them. My nieces, my brother said to me once, the girls need you. They want you to be there. You're their auntie. And they're right. I might have children of my own, but I am their auntie and I want to grow old and I want to help them, nurture them, be their friends as they grow up. And, you know, I have a life to live. I have a husband who he found it really hard when I went through it. And I know my friend's husband found it really, really hard. So even if you think you don't have a purpose in life, it's not about you, it's about the whole people around you, the impact you have on people. And, you know, cancer affects everybody. No one's exempt. You don't need to drink, you don't need to eat meat, you can be vegan, you can be the fittest person in the world. If cancer's going to hit you, it's going to hit you. You just need to know your body. You need to go to your doctors. You need to go and you need to have your tests. You need to have everything that's on offer and get checked out. And if you know your body and something is different, get it checked out. The earlier you find it, the better. Seriously, it really is. My friend, and I still can't remember what the men's cancer is. Isn't that bad? And I will, actually, I'm going to stop you here because I'm going to look it up. Oh my god, it's prostate. Do you know what? It's amazing how when you get stressed out by cancer, your brain goes to pickle. And it really does. It's prostate cancer. And a friend of mine who had a routine scan at work found out he got prostate cancer as well. And thankfully he got it early. He didn't need radiation treatment and he had his operation and he's absolutely fine now. And guys, I can't express enough how important it is to have checkups. I was lucky to have private healthcare at work, so from 40 I had mammograms every 2 years, and that's how they picked it up because it changed over those 2 years. If I hadn't, and I would be in my late 40s to have my mammogram, I wouldn't be here today. And I thank the Lord, that's Lola, I thank the Lord I did. You know, I owe my work so much. Getting cancer, getting that notification you've got cancer is the worst thing in the world, I have to say. I don't know how I dealt with it. I don't know. It's almost like it was 7 years ago and it feels like it wasn't me. When I look in the mirror I know it was me because things look very different now. I had an amazing surgeon. and, you know, an oncologist and things like that. And I suppose you deal with it because you suddenly grow. Sorry, it's Fido. This is what he wants to play with because it's noisy, and this is what happens on all my videos. This is what Fido plays with. I suppose you go into overdrive, and as I said, for me, I didn't want to tell anybody, and almost actually I felt ashamed I got it, and I don't know why. You can't predict you're going to get cancer. Nothing you do in your life can give you cancer, but you get it, and it was almost like I didn't want anyone to know. And a part of me as well, a big part of me was, if I hadn't got cancer, no one could feel sorry for me. I didn't want to feel sorry for me, because the weird thing is, when you get diagnosed with cancer, you're not ill. Okay, I didn't feel ill, didn't look ill, but something inside me was growing that shouldn't be there. And my friend actually mentioned it today. It's bizarre because up until the point of your operation, you're not ill. You're absolutely fine. If you hadn't had your mammogram or a ultrasound or anything, you don't know you got it, okay? And then suddenly someone tells you you have cancer, and then you go for your operation, and suddenly you're ill because you've had an operation, your body needs to recover. You know, they wanted me to have a mastectomy, and I remember I was just mortified because I've always been big busted, and the thought of having no boobs, and I'm really embarrassed to say this, it scared me to death. I didn't want to be boobless because I've always had big boobs. And I remember my husband, we weren't married at the time, but he said to me, I love you, it doesn't matter, they're just boobs. And I remember, and I'm going to change the words slightly here, but I screamed at him in a car park and said, how the effing hell would you feel if someone wanted to chop your off? And he just hugged me. And for him, yes, he said, you know, it's boobs, I don't care, I still love you, you're not going to change. And I remember talking to my consultant and crying and telling her how I felt about my body and stuff, and he was brilliant. He said, look, you're so big busted, yes, you have a big breast cancer, but actually I can take half your breast away and still keep your boobs. And I was like, I don't want to lose my nipple. And he said, we can work around that. Now, not everybody has the big boobs that I had at the time, and I get that, and I think they're so much braver than me. And again, that's something I feel really bad about. And I suppose the thing is, everyone's cancer journey is different, and it is really, really hard. I had my surgery, and I have to say he did a brilliant job, but I still needed a reconstruction because he took some from my other breast. And then my radiation was horrendous. I got really bad burns, and it's burnt inside my breast and outside, so the boob size changed. So now I was stuck with two boobs that were, one was half the size of the other. And again, I didn't tell anybody how I felt. I had chicken fillets, and you don't know what those are. They're just pads you put in your bra to help boost you. Hubby never said anything. He wasn't even aware of how I felt, and I love him for that. But I really struggled because I was still alive. Yes, I fought breast cancer, but I didn't like my body and how I looked. And I spoke to my consultant. After 5 years, they agreed to reconstruction, and the options were they took from my belly, but because they didn't know how much they needed to do each time, because apparently it varies and they have to keep doing it, I could have up to 10 operations, and I just couldn't bear 10 operations, so I had an implant. And again, I feel I took the easy option, and it's really hard sometimes that you, I don't know, should I took my tummy and use that? I don't know. I just knew that I didn't want to spend time in hospital, I didn't want time off work, and I took not the easy route for me necessarily. Yeah, well, probably it was the easy route for me, but it was the easy route for us as a couple and as a family. It's not 100%. I'm not 100% happy with it, but it's a million times better than it was. And a couple months ago I got a scare. We thought that breast cancer would come back, and the worst thing was I'd sat for weeks on it. I'd got a lump and I didn't know what to do with it. I was too scared to deal with it, and I kept it to myself. And then one morning I got myself so stressed that I actually said to my hubby, I said, I've got this lump, I don't know what to do, it's really painful and I'm really scared. And he said, why the hell didn't you tell me? And I said, I don't know what to do. I said, but I think I might call doctors. And I did, and I called doctors and I went the same day, and they said, yeah, you've got a lump there, we need to get you in the hospital. And I rang my private consultant, because we get private healthcare, and got it next morning. And so then I messaged my husband that I'd been 4 weeks knowing this, and he was like, why the hell did you wait that long, you know, for God's sake? And the truth was, I was scared. I was scared because I didn't want to put him through it. I didn't want my family through it again, and I knew the heartbreak it would cause if I had cancer again, and I also knew that being through it once, what I was going to go through. But I went, I had my ultrasounds, everything else, and thankfully I haven't got breast cancer again. Sadly, well, one, I've got lumpy breasts anyway, so for me, and that's the thing is from the beginning, if you said to me, have you got a lump in your breast? I've always had lumpy breasts, that's what I've got. So my breasts didn't feel different from the mammogram. I'd never known I've got breast cancer. But two, the radiation had changed my breast so much that there's not a lot they can do for me now. You know, it's not cancerous, so it stays. I feel like I'm waffling to you guys a little bit here, but I just need you to know, okay? I need you to know, hand on your heart, go for your mammograms, okay? A lot of my friends now have reached 50, okay? Because I'm 50 this year. You will be entitled to mammograms on the NHS. You go for your checkups absolutely regularly. Girls out there who are a lot younger than me, you go for your cervical cancer smears because they are vital. Boys, you go for your prostate. I know it's not dignified and I know it's not great, but if they can save your life, it's great. It's brilliant. You might not have kids. I don't have kids, right? Okay? So it's not about leaving people behind. If I go before my mum and dad, how will they feel? No parent wants to lose their child before them. No brother or sister wants to lose their sibling. They don't. So even if you don't have kids out there, it isn't about you, it's about the people who love you. I know my husband would have been mortified if I'd gone. And I know the pain he went through, and I know. And I try and pretend, and I said today, you know, some ways me keeping my cancer a secret wasn't great for him because he didn't have a big circle of people he could talk to. Because my way of dealing with it was to keep it as in a small, close community. But the reality is, sometimes when you have cancer or any illness, you need people around you. You need to share it. But also, what I've learned since then is, and I will tell people now that I've had breast cancer, because I've heard so many stories of people who do not go for their checkups in any shape or form. And if I can save one of your lives out there, I will be happy. Cancer affects us all in every walk of life. The more money you have in your life does not stop you from getting cancer. But if you go for your checkup, it can. So what I want to say, guys, is go. If anything, you know your body, if anything changes in your body, get it checked out. It doesn't matter how minor it is or how insignificant you think it might be, get it checked, because ultimately that will save your life, and it will save your family, your friends and everybody a lot of heartache as well, okay? Cancer's moved on a lot over the years and they can do a lot for you. So if you can fight it and be cured, fantastic. Sadly, some people don't get that, and I know that, and I know it's not curable for everybody. But the earlier you get it, the better it is. The preventive is better than the cause. So guys, please, 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 if you get anything out of this video, you go to your doctors, you get your cervical smear, You have your mammograms, you have your prostate cancer, you have every single check you're entitled to, because you might not think you're worth it, but the people around you do, and they love you. That's all I'm going to say now, guys. I hope I haven't waffled too much. Read my cancer journey on my website on www.sliminspirationforyou.com. I'll put a link down here about my own personal cancer journey, but it's there, guys. It's real, and it doesn't have to be. I love you all. If any of you go to doctors because of the video, please let me know. I'd love to think that I've actually prevented somebody from what I went through and my family went through. A bit of a different to what I normally do, so I'm not going to say you're going to subscribe to this because of me and this, but if you do, great, guys, and I will catch you soon. Bye.